Hey guys, welcome back. It is TechLock here, and last night we had the legendary banner for Leif drop. So today we're going to take a look at that, going to take a look at Leif and the rest of the banner. So here we go.
A hero is like a vision that appears when the time is right.
So here we have Leif, and I know I've made a point about this in my past videos, but this artwork is truly incredible. I mean, it's the little things that really make a difference when it comes to gotcha games like this. And one of the things I just appreciate is really well done artwork, and I really think the armor on Leif here is a very, very classic anime style. And I truly love the artwork here, and then the animations that you'll be seeing coming up, the custom animations. So I do want to give a tip of the hat to IS for the artwork and animations on this new unit.
My mentor told me this.
Alright, so here is Leif's kit, and we're going to be reviewing this with actually his stats in mind, because Nintendo did release the tips and tricks video that actually showed up his stats. Obviously, we have the Meisterbogen that will affect his stats. So with this weapon equipped, his stats, I believe, are 40 HP, 47 attack, 17 speed, 29 defense, and 27 res. And I know, obviously, it's really 22 speed, but minus speed with the Meisterbogen. But it doesn't matter. We're just going to go. We're assuming that since this weapon is really good, spoiler alert, most people are going to keep this weapon on him. There's no reason to put another bow on him. So, I mean, there might be one or two reasons, but really should keep this bow on him. So we will certainly analyze him with his stats, with his bow in mind. So let's look at the bow first. Effective against flying foes, again, every single bow unit ever, nothing new. Inflicts speed -5 unit, attacks twice, even if foe initiates combat. When under player's control, unit gains. If unit initiates combat, foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So let's first point out unit attacks twice, even if foe initiates combat. So truly a brave hero, just like Swordheart and just like Keaton. So that does make him really good, makes him a really good Vantage unit. The first thing when I thought of was if you want to use Leif in AR, he doesn't have enough res to truly tank. I mean, he does have decent bulk, and he does have, I think, tied for the highest HP of a mounted archer, but he really doesn't have enough bulk to stop like a tank like Ophelia or an area of effect tank. So he would be perfect for Vantage, because obviously he's going to take that area of effect, probably be dropped down to 1 HP, let's face it, if you have a merged up Ophelia or another nuke with an area of effect special, and then he would instantly retaliate with 2 bow attacks. And typically most mages are squishy, so he would truly knock out the mage, or knock out, with his high attack, knock out really any unit, for example. So that makes him a great Vantage unit, especially to counter any area of effect foes. So we also have, apart from his unique weapon, we have a unique skill here. I actually forgot, we should also talk about the second effect of his weapon, which is if unit initiates while under player's control, if unit initiates combat, foe cannot make a follow-up attack, which is great, but it's also going to make sure people don't auto-battle through Tempest Trials and a bunch of other stuff, which is funny. I mean, I get it. You certainly want to take advantage of this because he does have absolutely abysmal speed. So 95% of the units in this game are going to double him. So making sure you control him when you attack is really going to help his longevity. I mean, he does have substantial bulk, but it's not enough to really, truly be a tank. So you do want to avoid those doubles if at all possible. And it's really nice that there's no HP threshold on this. So as long as you're attacking, no unit will ever be able to counterattack you or do a follow-up counterattack to you, which is actually really, really, really powerful. So that's really cool. And I guess in modes that matter, like AR, Arena, you will be controlling your units. So I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. But it does. Here we talk about Njorn's Seal. I really hope I'm saying that right, New Orleans Zeal. So what this does is, if unit initiates combat, grant another action to unit after combat once per turn, so mini Gale Force. When special triggers, inflicts, restricts movement to one space on unit and pair up cohort through the next action. Obviously, that's important to mention as Leif is a pair up hero, so you can't just swap it and have him move away, completely nullifying the effect. But what this is basically is Gale Force on a smaller scale. Obviously, it has a much quicker cooldown, but you only get to move one space. So some pros, some cons. I think, especially with his low speed, having a lower cooldown Gale Force is certainly optimal. And you can do a lot, whether it's making sure he attacks again to clear out enemies, or just moving one space back. Especially with Fire Emblem Heroes having a tremendously small map, one space actually does make a huge difference. So I think, especially in Leaf's case, New Orleans Zeal is a perfect special for him. No need to go a full-blown Gale Force. He has attack, res, push 4. Again, the second push 4 skill we've seen, the first one came on Brave Camilla. But at the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, grants attack, res, +7. But after combat, if unit attack, deals +5 damage to unit. Yeah, that's great. IS knows his role. It's going to be attacking mages. Most of the mages that he's going to be attacking are the ones that can counterattack. So, or most of the units that can counterattack against Leaf are going to be mages. So the res certainly does help. I would have liked to see his defense and res stats switched, because right now he's sitting at 26 defense and 27 res, so 34 res. But if they had given him 29 res and 27 defense, he would have had like a 34 res stat with attack, res, push 4, and I think that would have been, a little bit better. Helped him out, especially against some of the newer mages coming out. But I got 2 points. Oh well. Still a great skill. Still going to help him. And this will play well with what I think how you should build him later, which I'll talk about. S Drink. This B skill. It's a premium B skill, which means it's 300 SP, which means you'll get the highest value for arena when using this skill. It's the same exact skill that comes on his original iteration. So the effect is at start of turn 1, restores 99 HP and grants special cooldown -1. The restored 99 HP really only matters for chain challenges and Tempest trials. Those are really the two modes that it's really effective for. And apart from that, I really don't think those two game modes are all that challenging. So this isn't like an amazing game-breaking meta thing. It obviously wasn't something that was game-breaking meta when it came out on the original Leaf, the Sword Infantry Leaf. But I mean, it's a good skill. I mean, the best part about this one is going to be the granting the special cooldown -1. So it's really going to get New Orleans Zeal ready on the first turn, especially if the foe can't counterattack. So, and then Defense Smoke 3, it's a good skill. Definitely is very synergetic with having a Brave Bow and New Orleans Zeal, because obviously if you attack and then you trigger it, then when you go in and attack again, defense will be -7, and obviously it's amplified by having that Brave effect. I think with his actually pretty substantial attack stat, and then having attack, res, push 4, and I'm sure you can give him other, obviously being a cavalry unit, it's very easy to get a Hone cavalry, Goad cavalry going on. I know a bunch of people, most people in this game have Hone bots built especially for the cavalry buffs. So it's really not hard to get his attack into the mid-50s, where you could reliably run Heavy Blade. If you want to consider getting consistent New Orleans Zeal's specials after the initial turn, when S Strength, the special cooldown, is no longer active. So that's probably the cheapest build, would just be to keep it like this and add Heavy Blade and run him with a cavalry team, and it makes him very, very powerful. So that's what I have to say about his kit. Let's watch the rest of the trailer.
Yes?
Again, I love the custom animations. It's uh, truly a nice icing on the cake by IS. But let's see what other heroes appear. All right, so this is going to be a very, very strong banner. Obviously, Colorless is the clear winner in my opinion, just because you do have Legendary Olm, who is a fantastic archer, and Leif, who is a fantastic archer. Both two incredible units that anyone would be happy to have in their army. And you also have Fallen Tiki. She's a great unit in and of herself. Certainly has some impressive skills, to say the least, especially if you run her solo or with a Dragon Emblem team. Actually, I believe she's the only armor that can self-sustain 2 movement at any HP threshold. So again, that makes her awesome. Blue probably is going to be the second for me, mostly based on the strength of Lucina, Legendary Lucina and Legendary Azura. Again, Azura I still think is the best dancer in the game. I mean, not obviously the best offensive dancer in the game, but when it comes to being a buff bot with Prayer Wheel, with also Gray Waves, guaranteeing extra movement, seriously, she can't be beat. Truly enhances battlefield tactics. And then Future Vision is a skill unlike any other with Lucina. And trust me, I've been able to screw other people over with it on AR defense teams, and people have been able to screw me over with it. So Future Vision is definitely a great skill. Spring Marissa, I guess people like her for her voice lines, but yeah, and people like Marissa as well. So that's kind of like if you have a personal affection for Marissa, then blue is a good color. I'm gonna say that red and green, it's hard to pick. Again, I don't think there's any clear losers. Everything has something to offer. Valentine's Ike, Distant Counter, and his sword are actually pretty good. And he has special spiral. So if you want to fodder Distant Counter and special spiral, Ike is a good candidate for that. Also, he has a great blade. Also, you have Spring Pala, who is awesome. Disarm Trap is a very underrated skill in AR. Trust me, it is very underrated. And she also has her weapon's really good. Especially, it's basically built to annihilate Surters and any other green armor. So I definitely use the hero a lot in arena assault runs, and I do use her in AR. So she's good. Felicia still picking Felicia. It does have a fantastic use in the meta because she's still one of the few units who does have beast slaying weapons. I believe there's only 4 units with beast slaying weapons. Her, Spring, Lucas, the blue flying dagger unit that came out recently. I can't remember her name, and I believe, and then of course a legendary Elliewood. So again, very few and far between to find beast slaying weapons. So she is definitely critical as far as countering beast units. I mean, Kaningas is definitely someone who can do a lot of damage to teams. And then, Renolf is there. He's a unit that exists. People like him. So yeah, that's my thing. This is certainly a very, very strong banner. Certainly. Oh, and I forgot to talk about Legendary Hector. He's an awesome unit. I have one that's minus attack, and I still use him all the time because he has Wary Fighter built into his axe and Vengeful Fighter. So as long as the foe is initiating, the foe only attacks once, and he always makes 2 attacks. It seriously is game changing. And he actually can tank quite a bit of hits, and I've seen him tank red mages. So certainly a powerful unit I would consider pulling for him if not in your barracks. But you really can't go wrong. This is certainly one of the strongest banners I have seen in a long time. So as you can see, the banner will be around for 7 days or 6 days. Math is hard, guys. So yeah, I'll look forward. Probably not going to do a summoning video on this banner. I just said this is an amazing banner, but I am running low on orbs. I spent a lot of orbs on the Zophia's Call banner, and that video just went absolutely horribly. It was a terrible summoning session. I don't even feel good about putting it out, so I'm not going to put it up on YouTube. I don't feel good about making content when it's that bad. So sorry guys, but there's no positives to come out of it. Not even you can't not even laughing at my misery positive. So I spent quite a bit of orbs on that, and I might throw a few orbs, but I don't see myself pulling on this banner. And then also you can always look out for that Abyssal challenge. I'm going to take it on with Reinhardt and Ling. And yeah, until then, guys, let me know what you think of this banner. If you're excited for Leif, if you're excited for any units on this banner, I think there's a lot of units to get excited over. So let me know what you think. Let me know who you're pulling for. And if you see this after it's come out, let me know if you get anything. All right, guys, take care.